Life always gives us two choices. One is the easy road, filled with comfort, laziness, and endless waiting for a miracle. The other road is hard, demanding effort, discipline, and persistence, but it leads to growth and achievement. Most people spend years waiting for life to change without realizing that the key to transformation lies within them. This is the story of a boy who once surrendered to laziness, yet proved to himself and the world that he could rise above it. His story is not only about success, but also about how learning, discipline, determination can completely change the way we speak, act, and live. He was an ordinary student, known for doing the bare minimum. He loved his bed more than his books. And whenever his friends worked hard to improve themselves, he laughed it off, saying there was always tomorrow. His English teacher often reminded him that language is power, that words can open doors no degree ever could, but he never paid attention. He thought fluency in English was only for talented people, not for someone like him. Day after day, he postponed his practice, telling himself he would start tomorrow. But as you know, tomorrow never comes for the lazy. One day, his class was announced to compete in a storytelling contest. The challenge was simple: tell a story in English, full of emotion, confidence, and clarity. The winner would receive recognition not only in school, but also a chance to represent them at a bigger event. His friends got excited, but he panicked. How could he, someone who avoided speaking English, stand before a crowd and tell a story? He thought of quitting immediately, telling himself there was no way to succeed. Laziness whispered in his ear, convincing him to run away before even trying. But that evening something changed. He sat quietly in his room and thought about his life. He realized how many times he had hidden behind excuses, how many opportunities he had lost just because of his lazy habits. For the first time, he felt ashamed of how he had wasted his potential. He remembered his teacher's words, "Prove yourself. No one will believe in you if you don't first believe in yourself." That night, he made a decision. Instead of giving in to laziness, he would fight it. Instead of running away, he would prepare. The first days were difficult. He picked up simple English books and forced himself to read out loud. His tongue stumbled, his grammar cracked, and his confidence was so low that even speaking to himself in the mirror felt impossible. But he did not stop. He practiced sentences daily, speaking slowly and clearly. He listened to stories, repeated phrases, and slowly built the courage to say them without fear. Every time laziness called him back to comfort, he reminded himself of the upcoming competition. He imagined himself standing on stage, his words flowing smoothly, the audience clapping, and his teacher smiling with pride. That image became his motivation. Days turned into weeks. His friends noticed the change. The boy who once wasted hours lying down was now awake early, practicing with passion. At first, they laughed at him, but soon their laughter turned into admiration. They saw his commitment, his fire, and his determination to prove himself. The more he practiced, the better his storytelling became. He learned how to add emotion to his voice, how to express feelings with words, and how to hold the attention of listeners. He wasn't just learning English anymore, he was learning the art of communication. Finally, the day of the competition arrived. His heart was pounding, his palms sweating, but this time he didn't want to run away. He walked to the stage, remembering every moment of practice, every hour of struggle. The hall was filled with students, teachers, and judges waiting to hear him. As he looked at the audience, fear whispered again, but he took a deep breath and reminded himself why he started. Then he began to speak. At first his voice was shaky, but soon with every word his confidence grew. He told his story about laziness, about the fight within, about choosing effort over excuses. His words painted pictures of struggle and determination, and the audience leaned forward, listening closely. For the first time in his life, he felt the power of his own voice. He wasn't just speaking English. He was telling a story that connected with every person in the room. By the time he finished, the hall was silent for a moment, and then applause erupted. The judges praised not only his English, but also the passion behind his storytelling. He didn't just win the competition, he won respect, something far more valuable. He proved to himself that laziness was only a shadow, and once he chose to step into the light of hard work, nothing could stop him. His teacher congratulated him and said, "This is what happens when you decide to change. You've not only learned English, you've learned discipline, confidence, and the courage to face life. The boy realized that success doesn't come overnight. It comes from small, consistent steps taken every day. It comes from practicing even when you're tired, from speaking even when you're afraid, from believing even when the world doubts you. Laziness had almost stolen his future, but he chose to rise, and in doing so, he discovered his true strength. And here's the lesson for all of us. If you want to improve your English, don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until you feel ready. Start now, with whatever words you know. Speak them out loud. Practice every day, even if it's just 5 minutes. Tell stories to yourself. Describe your day. Repeat what you hear, and slowly your words will grow. Confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you create through action. Many learners think that mistakes are failures, but the truth is, mistakes are the bridges to fluency. Every wrong word you speak is a step closer to the right one. Every broken sentence is practice for a stronger one. Just like the boy in the story, you too can defeat laziness and prove yourself. Language is not just about grammar and vocabulary. It is about expression, about connecting with people, and about sharing your heart and mind. So ask yourself today, will you let laziness control your life, or will you stand up and fight it? Will you waste another year waiting for confidence, or will you build it right now? The choice is yours, and the power is already within you.